Hey, it's Denise. Do you always think that people who suffer from some sort of depression always look like this? Hair mess, in their pajamas, no makeup, and just, well, if you think that's true, then you'll be interested in what's coming up next. So stay tuned. Hey, it's time for Discoveries with D. That's me. Thank you for on this video. This is a very personal video today. I wasn't sure I was going to share this or not, but I felt like sometimes we need to be the voice for people and we need to be what people need to hear, or it might help somebody. So I'm putting myself out there. So if you saw the beginning of this video, I was giving you an example of somebody with depression, how they look. And also, you could look all coiffed, makeup, earrings, jewelry, ready to go for the day. And this could be the face of depression. You don't know, because somebody walks around with a smile on their face and positivity doesn't necessarily mean they're not suffering on the inside. Now, I don't know a lot about depression, nor do I consider myself an expert. Let's put that out there before we go any further. Disclaimer, I'm not an expert. I don't know everything. I'm just giving you what's going on in my life and only my example and what I go through. So please, if this is disturbing, then you can click off. But if this is something that you want to watch, then I definitely encourage you to do so. All right, let's start off with, what is depression? Depression symptoms, we'll go with symptoms first, include persistent sadness, loss of interest, fatigue, sleep, appetite changes, difficulty concentrating, feeling worthless, guilty, and sometimes thoughts of suicide or death. If you're feeling suicide or death, you need to stop this video and you need to call that hot. There's going to be a hotline. Maybe I could find it and I will put it down in the description box, because yes, I suffer from depression, but no, you get asked it all the time when you talk about it with your doctor. And please make sure you're seeing your doctor for this. They always ask you that. That is one important question. Affecting daily life significantly for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Symptoms vary, but often involve emotional, hopelessness, irritability, physical aches, pains, low energy, and behavioral changes, withdrawal, sometimes substance abuse. It is crucial to see a doctor if you have any of the several symptoms for most of the day, nearly every day, and rule out other conditions to get proper treatment. Common emotional and mental symptoms: persistent sadness, anxious, empty, loss of interest or pleasure in hobbies and activities that you used to enjoy, feelings of hopelessness, worthlessness, and excessive guilt, irritability, frustration, restlessness, difficulty concentrating, remembering, or making decisions. Thoughts of death and suicide, again, require emergency help. We've said that already. Common physical and behavioral symptoms: significant fatigue, loss of interest, changes in sleep. Sometimes you have insomnia or you sleep too much. Changes in appetite or weight, eating more or less. Unexplained aches, pains, headaches, and digestive problems. And here's the thing, you get tested for all these things and all these tests come up normal, but you still have these symptoms. Slower movement, speech, or thinking. Social withdrawal, isolation, and from friends and family. Increased use of alcohol, drugs, neglecting personal hygiene. Ooh, that's a bad one. Yeah, well, you don't feel like getting washed if you're depressed. You don't feel like, it's like, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point? So how this story started was, a few months ago, I went to my gynecologist for my checkup, and we talked a few things, and she asked me this one question, and I looked at her, and I literally, I didn't quite break down, but I kind of I never really thought about it. And I said, oh, I think I'm depressed. Because I said to her, I've been frustrated. And mine comes from nothing and my life is, people be like, you have no reason to be depressed. Your life is great. And just because your life is great doesn't mean you're not depressed. Just because people have great lives, you'd be surprised. It's those people that you least expect. Look at Robin Williams. Who would have thought he was depressed? It's those people. And my focus for why I felt was getting like this was because, and I know it's going to sound so cliche, but it was the weight. I've been, fighting with this weight. As you know, if you've been following me since 2021, I had my goal weight raised. This is how bad it's been. I had my goal weight raised. Though my doctor wanted this to be my goal weight anyway, just saying. Had my goal weight raised, and it literally just creeps up. And I said to her, I said, I get, weight doesn't stay the same. I understand that. But the little creep ups, I said, and then it creeps up so easily. But then when you try to get it to go down, it's like forever to get, like, you put on a pound, it takes weeks to get a pound off. And I said, and I'm getting frustrated. And that frustration is leading into hopelessness. Like, do I really feel, there are times I sit there every week and I say to myself, do I really want to continue this? Do I really, it's not one thing to continue the channel, it's something to continue my lifestyle. And I'm like going, oh my gosh, but if you don't, what's going to happen to you? It's going to come back. It's going to creep up. And it's creeping up now. Imagine if I'm not accountable to anybody, how bad it's going to creep up. So I said to her, and she looked at me, she's like, I could see it. I could see your frustration. She goes, sometimes we need to just get a little help. So she suggested, I can't remember the pill she prescribed me. I can't remember. I think it was Zoloft. I don't remember. I can't remember. That was back in September. So I took that. Did I see any big difference? Not really. I mean, I was home for probably 6 weeks, and then I was time for my checkup at the regular doctors. And I explained to her, and we talked about it. And she said, I've looked in your chart, and you come in every year, and you say the same thing. I'm having trouble with this weight. I'm having trouble with this weight. And I've said it consistently since 2021. And I said to her, it's driving me insane. I said, I feel like if I don't do something, I don't know what else to do. How well can I eat? It's like, I know it's menopause, and I know I totally get that. I said to her, and I'm just not looking to be skinny. See, that's the thing for me. Like, I'm not looking to be a size 6. I'm not. So I feel like I'm not asking a lot of my body to just get down back to my size 10, to get back to 165, which is not skinny, but it's skinny for me. And so she looked at the medication. She says, let me change your medication. She says, I feel like there's a different thing that I think might benefit you a little bit. So she changed my medication. I had to wean off the one I was on, and she started me on Wellbutrin. I take it once a day. It's been about a month. I think I've been on it. It was sometime in October. Yeah, the end of October. So it's just about 6 weeks. And it's interesting. I didn't tell my husband. He sees the lack of interest I had in anything. Like, you can see the lack of interest in my channel. Like, you can see I was just kind of going through the motions, not really finding anything fun to do, because I didn't want to do anything. The only fun thing I liked doing was shopping. That was it. And I thought that was an easy thing to do because I can shop. But I could not, come up with, you haven't seen a Wednesday Wisdom. You haven't really seen any kind of motivational videos from me in quite a while. I haven't felt very motivational. I haven't felt like I could eat, I don't want to vomit all that stuff. I just didn't feel it. And I never said anything to him. Well, we were in the car. I told Timmy. Why I told Timmy, I don't know. But we were in the car a few weeks ago, and he said something to me. And I guess because I was going, he goes, what's wrong with you? I said, what do you mean? He goes, you're just so energetic. And I went, I am. I can't believe this so far, it's slowly, I feel like it's coming back. I've been interested in things. I've been doing things around the house, puttering. And he noticed that, but he never knew I was on any kind of medication, which is interesting. So I said to him, he's like, wow. He goes, yeah, I can see the difference. Things that you just don't enjoy, you stop enjoying. And you don't even realize, you think to yourself, oh, it's just weight. How bad could it be in life? Well, sometimes for some people it's important. I don't want to belittle people who have other issues. And there's we all have the reasons that we're depressed. We all have them. And for us, they are important. What somebody suffers, I'd be like, really? She's depressed about it? People be like, oh my gosh, she's depressed about her weight? Why? Just enjoy life. You don't know what's going in somebody's head. Even though and here's the fun fact, you really can't control it. You can't sit there and say to yourself, Denise, just get over it. Just, oh my God, don't worry about it. Life's short, eat the cake, and nobody can understand that but you. And I wanted to put this olive branch out and say, if you have any of these symptoms, go to your doctor. they may not put you on anything, but they'll talk to you and they'll see, different things. But I mean, is this going to help me lose weight? Hopefully, if I'm in a better frame of mind. I don't work out anymore. I lost interest in that. Don't feel like doing it. Nope. Now I'm trying to get back into it slowly, but have no desire. It takes weeks for these things to really come through fruition, but I definitely see a change in my attitude towards things. Like things I look at, I'll get to that. I'm like, no, I'm going to get to it now. And I'd be puttering around and doing this and organizing this. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. The fact that he noticed that I had a more upbeat, which was interesting. And I guess we all get older and we all just get, we're older. We've been, I'm 59 years old. Life, you raise your kids. It's the journey is long, So you don't really notice, like people might not notice that you're a little bit different until they see that you are different. And then they're like, wait a minute, what is up with her? And I'm sharing this in hopes that, if you're feeling anything like this, there's help out there. Don't feel ashamed. Like, that's the thing. Like, I was undecided whether to put this video out. And then I thought to myself, if you don't put it out, then you are ashamed. I'm like, that's true. So I wanted to put that there in hopes that if it even helps one person, it's so worth it. Putting out that you're depressed or suffering from depression is, it's almost like you're taking the Band-Aid off and you're exposing yourself. You're exposed to many things. I may get many odd comments on this video. But like I said, if it helps one person, bring on the weird comments. What am I going to do? You just want to help somebody. You want somebody to know that there's help out there. Don't be ashamed to ask for it. Don't be ashamed to take a medication. It's like the people who need the medications for weight loss. Like, people ridicule them. Why? If help is out there, take it. Like, wouldn't we want to take... If somebody offered me a drug back in the day, I'd be like, heck yeah. Who wouldn't? So we ridicule people for asking for help when they just are struggling through it. You don't know what somebody's going through. You don't, unless you walk a mile in their shoes. So if that helps them, who are we to judge? I think we're a society where we judge everybody what they do. You know what? It's not your life. You judge your own life. You don't need to judge somebody else's. And so I had to sit there and say to myself, you know what? I could help somebody by saying this. I could, I don't want to use with the face, but I could be like somebody that you probably don't even expect would be like, oh my gosh, really? You seem so upbeat. Most people do seem upbeat that are depressed. They do, because they have to put on this mask because they don't want people to know. Like, no, we don't want people to know how sad and listless we are. For me, it was just, here, the one that said, that's sleep. It said, changes in sleep, insomnia. I was not getting insomnia. I was sleeping more. I was sleeping probably 10 hours. See, nobody's here. Like, my husband goes to work, so the boys, they don't bother. They just go down and do their thing. 10 hours, that's a lot. And it's like you'd rather sleep than get up and deal with life. And that was me. I'd rather sleep. Let's sleep, because it's fun. The dreams are so much better than life, So yeah, that was definitely a symptom for me. Lack of wanting to get out of bed in the morning. Part of it, of course, I think I put a lot of it on the dog. Losing the dog. That doesn't help. Dogs are one of those joyful things. And we don't have that joyful thing around. Life isn't as fun. We've often said that life is less fun without Bailey, and it's true. So I think a lot of that, he was the reason I got up in the morning. So I don't have that reason anymore. So I just don't feel like getting out of bed. But I've gotten better. I have gotten much better. I don't sleep quite 10 hours anymore, about 8.5. But I'm also on a CPAP machine, so that does help me sleep. It keeps me in a deep sleep. But yeah, that was the thing. Just lack of movement, lack of motivation, just lack of, like, why am I, like I said to her, why I bust my ass, and I said, and for nothing. And I feel like it's just like, and when you feel like you're spinning your wheels, and you're not going anywhere, you're just like spinning in the same direction. it gets to you. And I don't want to get to that point where I've given up. I haven't gotten there yet. But if you could, and oh my God, if I give up, I'll blow up. I mean, I've already blown up. I don't need to blow up anymore. I mean, I'm telling you, I need to have my gluten test redone because, oh my gosh, I'm getting this weird itch. It's a whole other video. But I just wanted to put that out there that, you're not alone. You're not crazy. You're valid. Your reasons are valid. And if your doctor belittles those reasons, that's time to find another one. This is a new doctor for me. I've been seeing her probably for the last year. I think I've been here two times. And just the time that she sat there and she listened to me. She sat there and she, didn't want to say, well, I told you the male doctor said, I told her that she could look at me with. She told me to do crunches. I was complaining about, I just can't seem to lose this weight. And he goes, do some crunches. Not that that's not a bad suggestion, but I'm not looking to rip some abs here. I'm just looking to, get down to a size 10, 12. Well, I think my 12s are tight now. I'm really sad about that. But I try to use that for motivation. I keep I'm not getting any new clothes. I'm thinking I'm going to get back into those clothes. There's so many cute things that I have up there that I want to put on. I really need to stay away from the gluten. I know this because yesterday we had pizza and we got this on my Trader Joe's, all this sourdough. Now they say sourdough is supposed to be better because this processing, but still it's still gluten. I could feel it this morning. I could just feel it. I'm going, oh, I only had one piece of pizza, but I need to just jump all in and really know that that's what my body is craving right now, is less gluten. It's how when you're a European. My brother is celiac, so I'm sure I'm heading myself that way, unfortunately. But again, I just wanted to put this out there. I wanted to expose that, you might think I'm all put together, I'm all fun, I like to have fun, which I do. But sometimes, even the best of us get bogged down. I mean, because when you're pushing yourself constantly and you're not seeing, like I said, it's not like I expect huge results, but when you don't see any, and it's frustrating. And that's, I don't want to stop. And that's why you ask for help. And I just don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do. And I feel like I definitely needed some sort of mood enhancer, which has helped. I also want to get back into my walking. I have not walked. I just walk around the development. Oh my gosh. Bailey's been going since March. End of February, was it? I think it was end of February, beginning of March. I haven't walked since then. I used to walk him 3 times a day, plus my walking. So I was doing really well for myself. Not anymore. And I guess, was he my motivation? Probably. I mean, and that's you get depressed because of somebody passing away. Even you consider it's just a dog. He's part of your family. And yes, that is very huge of a loss. So yeah, I don't know if I realized, I did realize, but how it would affect me down the line. I guess I didn't think that far ahead. It's hard. You all know. You've all lost pets. You know that. They're family. It's funny, I've been watching this thing on Instagram, it keeps coming on my feed, where the dog is behind, he's in clouds, and there's a rainbow behind him, and he comes up to the screen, and he puts his paw up, and then he runs to the steps, and he goes up. Oh my God, I watch it constantly. Well, that's a whole other video, but yes, it's things like that. You don't know what's going to cause you to be this way. You just know that you need to seek help, and don't be ashamed. God, don't be ashamed. There's nothing wrong with, I sat there, and when she asked me, I guess they ask you these new questions now when you see a doctor. This was somebody new that I'd seen for my GYN checkup in the same office, but a new practitioner. And she had asked all these questions, and I said no. That way, let's go back to that. I said, why would I sit there and say no? Because I'm no, I am suffering. I am sad. I am lack of interest, lack of energy. I have no motivation. And then I feel bad because if I have no motivation, how am I supposed to motivate people? You know, and that's why you've not seen many, I don't think you've seen any motivational videos in a while. I mean, we're doing the no gain December because God knows I just need to maintain right now. I cannot afford, I just can't. And again, that's weighing on me. It's like you have this pressure of you don't want to gain because you've already gained. You know, you don't need to gain anymore because you're going to start off in January at another hole. You're in a big enough hole right now. And I'm just, I mean, you know, it's like you've lose so much. And I know, and it does seem trivial. Like, oh my God, people are dying. People have cancer. And, you know, there's big things going on in people's lives. And here you are, depressed about your weight. But that's I'm saying, like, but that's it. You can't say what's more important than what's more important. It's what we go through. Yes, there are bigger things going on in the world, but they're not going on for me. But this is going on for me. So it's huge for me. It's huge for you. So don't belittle any of that. Don't belittle any of that. Because, you know, it could really, and it could significantly impair you. You could stay in this track and it just keep going, slightly creeping up. So then all of a sudden you're over 200 pounds. You keep creeping up, you're 210. Like, it's just going to keep going and going and going. And then before I know it, I'm back where I was. And it's not that I want it for vanity. I'm healthier. That's why I said I don't need to be a size 6 to be healthy. I was healthy. And healthy is not a number. Healthy is not a dress size. Healthy is just being less than you are. But I also know that I have to put work in because I have not been putting work in because I'm unmotivated to put the work in. So I need to find something that motivates me. So this little Butrin is so far okay. I don't have any complaints. I really don't have any side effects. I mean, constipation's occasionally. But hey, I'm always constipated anyway. So I don't know the difference. So I think that was one of the things. And so I had to stop my other sleep apnea pill because you can't take this and this other pill. It could cause like seizures. You read that, like it can cause seizures. I'm like, well, honestly, I was only taking the sleep apnea medication for the pulse. And that's another thing. How do you feel energetic and motivated when your pulse is in the 40s? As I said, I cannot get my pulse rate up. I can't get energized. I do I'm busting my chops, walking, and I'm like at 88 beats a minute. Like, you might think that that's great, but I should be at 120. I used to be at 120, like 2 years ago. Ever since this bradycardia, it's so difficult for me. And I say to everybody, I'm like, nobody answers me. I'm like, if you can't get your heart rate up, how do you burn? Because you have to have that heart rate up to burn. If I can't get up, I'm obviously not burning anything. Correct? And they're like, well, yeah, but they don't, you know, that's just, so I know this. So I know I can't worry about that. I can only worry about what I put in my mouth. So with that being said, seek help if you need it. We are here for you if you need us. Comment below. You know, just, you know, put an olive branch out. You know, somebody will be happy to give you a pat on the back. You know what? Go get checked. Go see your doctor. If you need medication, take it. There's no shame in any of this. The shame is not asking. The shame is suffering. That's the shame. The shame is sitting there in your pajamas all day. Hair's really dirty. You're sitting there. You're missing life. And you shouldn't miss life. Life is short. You should be out there doing fun things, going to the library, taking a walk, you know, going to the store, just hanging out with friends, going to church, go to your church socials and stuff like that. Just simple things that give you happiness. Everybody's happiness is different. So that is it. I think there's some sort of, let me look. Hold on. I just wanted to see whether you can get if you're, like I said, you can always call 911, which you all know that. But they also have this other line. It's call or text 988 or start a chat online to connect with a trained crisis counselor. Life prevention 24-hour, confidence support in anyone's suicide, crisis, and emotional distress. So if you're that bad and you need help, I'm going to have those things down below for you because I feel I need to. If you're going to put a video out like this, you need to put help for somebody because you don't know who's going to watch this video. You just don't know. And I want to make sure that there's all the information that they need. There's different things you can go online and take these online tests. But you all know. This is good on my nerves too. It's probably my gluten rash. So that is it. I did hope this video helped somebody. Let me know in the comments. Then again, you might not want to let people know that you're, so feel free to message me privately if you'd like. You always can, because I get it. You don't want to put things out publicly. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope you did. Let me know. If you're new here, we do all interesting things. So this is a little bit of a different type of video for me, and I just needed to put, I think, it out there just for, especially this time of year. This is the worst time of year for depression, is the holidays, because everything's so happy-go-lucky and you don't feel happy or go-lucky. So definitely it comes out a lot this time of year. So that is it. I will see you in a Vlogmas video tomorrow. A little more upbeat. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. Maybe we'll just chat. Maybe we'll go for like a car vlog. I don't know. I have nothing planned. I never have anything planned. We just don't know what's going to happen. This is unhinged. Unhinged is definitely an unhinged video. So thanks for watching. I appreciate your support, and I will see you for another Vlogmas video soon. Maybe we'll skip tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what I feel like doing.